And I love it in Spy Family because it's kind of like you get narrated portions of each of the show from the different perspectives. And you have to kind of remind yourself that only Anya knows all the secrets. No one else knows what anyone else's deal is.
But that's also what makes her dialogue or her internal monologue the best, because she knows everything.
Oh, yeah.
So it really helps like drive home, like even just the silliness of, her as a character. But I digress.
Crazy that they've all been able to keep their respective secrets for that.
I don't understand.
Like,
very efficient time management skills.
I'm horrible. Like they would have figured out I was a spy like in episode 2.
I would have, as soon as I got adopted, I would have been like, and I can read minds.
Yeah.
Do with that what you will.
Right.
Coming to you from Crunchyroll HQ, this is The Anime Effect. Each week we bring you the latest news and views from the shows you love. It's pop culture with an anime lens. Okay, before we even tease what we've got coming up in our main story this week, we have to share that there is a brand new way that you, not you, LeAlec, unless you really want to, you have my phone number, people listening and watching can get in touch with us.
Yep.
You can now write directly to The Anime Effect by filling out this lovely question form that the team has put together. It's linked in this episode's description.
We worked really hard on this one for you guys.
Honestly, yeah. Like it's neat. It's got like links to where you can listen. You've got some options for questions, but we will also include it in all episode descriptions from here on out. Using that link, you can ask us questions. Of course, if you want to have your question read like almost 100% for sure. I say almost because legally I have to say almost. Leave a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. But you can ask questions, you can recommend topics, and that link is got.cr, as in got.cr/anime effect questions. That is got.cr/anime effect questions.
So look forward to hearing from you guys.
Yeah.
But today, for our main story, we are talking to artist and rapper 24kGoldn. It's going to be awesome.
I'm so excited. I've been listening to his stuff all weekend.
Yeah, same. So I'm looking forward to talking to Golden and seeing how anime has affected his career. Maybe get some recommendations out of him.
Maybe. We're batting at 100 so far with guests. So
he's got a scroll of stuff that he's watched, okay? Like you should see the liner notes. It's just a ton of stuff. But that will be coming up in our main story.
Before that, I've got to bore you with some news. I'm just kidding. I love the news.
The news is never boring.
The news is never boring.
Talking about the news.
And this week, I feel like I say this every week. There's a lot of big news. We're going to be talking gaming news from Nintendo. Switch 2, anyone?
Ooh.
Some Fortnite updates with your favorite anime characters. And there's a little anime film coming out here pretty soon that tickets are now on sale for.
Just a small one.
I'm your host, Nick Friedman.
It's me, LeAlec Murray.
And you and I, today are going to see just how powerful the effect of anime really is. We do have to mention Leah is feeling a bit under the weather today.
Yep.
So was unable to join us for recording. But we will feel their presence the whole time.
They're here with us in spirit.
Yep. I hope that's how you feel about me when I'm not here.
We just replaced you with cardboard, bro. So,
Demon Slayer's back. We have to.
Oh, man.
There were 2 big things that happened over the last week.
Yep.
One of them, we need to wait for Leah so that we can talk about, which is that Megan Thee Stallion's new song, Boa, the music video for it, is just completely packed with anime and video game references.
It's basically an anime within itself, bro.
Yeah. And honestly, the name itself, like Boa Hancock from One Piece.
Yep.
But I guess homework assignment, like go check out the video.
Yep.
And then next week, when the 3 of us are all here to see just how powerful the effect of anime really is together, we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
But Demon Slayer. So Demon Slayer, Kimetsu no Yaiba, Hashira training arc has officially begun on Crunchyroll. Talk to me. Episode 1, thoughts?
There was enough, even though I know the first episode was like nearly an hour.
It was it was a double episode.
There's not enough. I definitely need more. There are seminal moments in anime where you can tell you're witnessing how big it is, and you can tell like you're nearing the end of a story, but at the same time, you're like, cool, I'm just gonna enjoy this ride. Like I'm not gonna be sad that it's over.
It's all bangers from here on out.
It's
like
all
it's
bangers
all hits
from here on out. And that's how I feel, man. Because the one thing that I think Demon Slayer does really well is the Hashiras, or your top of the top.
Yeah,
like,
these are like the best of the best Demon Slayers that basically like lead their class in their focus form.
Yeah. It's so cool to see them in any way, shape, or form be presented like final bosses is the best way I can say it. Even with, Rengoku, like it's like it's not gonna be easy for you. Like if you're up against one of these guys, like you better say your prayers and eat your vitamins because it's you're gonna have a bad time.
In Mugen Train, without spoiling anything, like there's a moment with Rengoku where it's like you can see his immense power.
Yeah.
And there's a moment that feels helpless or hopeless.
Yes.
But ultimately does the opposite. It gives hope for the future.
Mm-hmm.
There was a moment in episode 1 of the Hashira training arc where you are seeing the Wind Hashira and the I think it's the Serpent Hashira at the top of their game.
Yes.
And then it is like completely wiped. And there's this moment, I will not spoil it, where I was just like mouth agape, eyes wide, this intense feeling of dread at what these two characters were experiencing in that moment.
Yes.
Right?
Like
the whole thing shifts.
Right. Because like you said, you see how strong they are.
Yep.
And how like unhinged the Wind Hashira is. Like the guy is unhinged.
And the Serpent Hashira with the
cool,
the serpent breathing is
so cool. But then also to see just all of it, kind of like in the very Konosuba where we're glad to see these characters come back together. I felt the same way here. Like I was glad to see everybody come back together. And actually like
that went about as horrible as it could have.
It was great. I was glad to see everybody come back together. That's what I think is the best part about having an ensemble cast when you do an anime is like coming back and getting to know everybody again. Especially now that everybody's stronger and the stakes are higher. Like, again, I'm not going to spoil it, but the stakes are high. All right. I think it's time to talk about some anime and gaming news. Next up, we're sharing how to get your tickets for Haikyu, the Dumpster Battle, revealing the latest anime characters to arrive in Fortnite, and talking about the long-awaited Cyberpunk Edgerunners tabletop RPG. So, stick around. Let's dive into the news. As this is the year of anime films, it's once again time to talk about Haikyu, the Dumpster Battle. Nick, you up, sir? Serve, Nick, serve.
Haikyu, the Dumpster Battle. Tickets are on sale right now. If you are in North America, Australia, or New Zealand, the movie is coming subbed and dubbed.
Ooh.
It opens on May 30th.
I'm ready.
Get tickets now. Be ready. I kind of at this point, if I don't catch up before the movie, I kind of want to just go into it cold, but you're looking at me like I was looking at you when you said you were going to start Black Butler with season 3, and I'm going to just rewind that. Who are you rooting for? As if I know who you're talking about.
Right. No, man, it's got to be the Crows. It's got to be our main characters, man. Like, it says so much. Like, when you're... And the crazy thing is that there are so many great teams that you meet in the series, but it's almost like when you're watching Kuroko's basketball, right? You want to root for the main characters. And that's how Haikyu sets it up, is that you want to root for the Crows.
And they're the Crows.
Yeah.
Who is the other dumpster battling team?
That would be... Nakama High, who is also known as the Cats.
Cats and Crows.
Yeah, so it's gonna be great, man, because they've been alluding to this showdown from season 1.
Oh,
so it's gradually been building. So that's what I think is gonna be fun here, is that we're getting the culmination of what we saw in the first couple episodes of season 1, and yeah, I'm excited.
Cool. I'm happy for you. I'm sure future me will look back and be like, man, why was I not ready?
So you should also be happy for yourself, because you need to start watching this.
So the next news item, I had to put it in here because it's big news in the gaming world, from Nintendo. I have to preface this. We cannot spend the rest of the episode talking about this. We will do that.
Because I know we'll do it.
Yeah, we'll do it. We'll go 3, 4, maybe even 5 hours about this.
Yeah.
Nintendo, in the most Nintendo way, has officially confirmed that a Switch successor will be announced within 12 months.
Bro, this announcement was like probably the most hilarious. Like, because you said the most Nintendo way, it was probably the most hilarious
The
announcement
tweet
I've
said,
ever
"This
seen.
is Miyamoto." Do you remember he did that for the Mario movie?
Yeah.
This is Miyamoto. There's a new Switch coming. No, but I mean, look, the gaming world has been just spiraling for probably the last 3 or 4 years.
I think so. Yeah.
Over, are we getting a Switch Pro?
Yeah.
When are they going to follow up the Switch?
Is it a new system?
Yeah,
Just
is it a new
general?
system?
Yeah.
Is it To be fair, we still really don't know what this means. It just says successor.
Yep.
But if we're taking the assumption that it's the next console,
Mhm.
this news is basically before March 2025 ends, fiscal years, baby,
Mhm.
we will know the details on what's next from Nintendo's hardware team. So in addition to that, they announced that there's going to be a Nintendo Direct in June,
Yeah.
which is pretty usual. They,
Mhm.
back in the old days of E3, they had a Nintendo Direct timed around this.
Back in my day.
But Nintendo has already said there will not be a console announcement during that, which makes me sad.
But I'm happy they said it right off the bat, where they're like,
Yeah.
hey,
Set your
we're-
expectations.
Yeah, we're setting your expectations now.
Yeah.
Do not expect any news. Wait for us. We'll tell you when.
Yep.
Right? Yeah.
That being said, what are you hoping to see in a Switch 2? Like what, like I'll ask you this, like what is an upgrade that the Switch 2 needs for you?
Okay.
And what is your kind of wild prediction? I mean, Nintendo always likes to add some type
weird
of, I don't call them gimmicks because they're
tech.
usually revolutionary,
Yeah.
but the Wii was the Wii remote
Yep.
and motion controls, right? The Wii U was the tablet.
tablet,
The
which led to
Switch
the
was the
Switch.
Joy-Cons and
Yep.
the docking.
Yep.
So, upgrade you want to see. Prediction for what the special feature that they're going to add is.
If the rumors are correct, I just want a Joy-Con upgrade. That's my biggest thing, right?
So that's your upgrade.
stick drift was awful. I don't
Yeah.
know how many Joy-Cons I've had to replace in the almost 8 years that I've had this system.
Again, 8 years.
8
Let's all
years.
just ruminate on the 8 years of time passing.
But then also like there's supposed to be some kind of new way to connect the Joy-Cons. So whatever whatever is surrounding the Joy-Cons, I feel like is going to be the major thing.
It's going to be glue,
gonna be glue,
like
yeah.
or rubber cement
something, right? That you have to
that you have to
reapply every
apply
time.
yourself.
I really want to see an upgrade to the Joy-Cons.
Okay, so what's your prediction then for the feature?
So my prediction for the feature is going to be, it has to be something Joy-Con related. It's going to be something
Okay.
Joy-Con related. I also feel like we may get some kind of upgraded cartridge.
That's so
I think-
boring. You
but-
said the most boring thing I could
But
think of.
but at the same time, you think about it, right? Like, what is the main thing that we always hear devs complain about?
Space.
Space.
Yeah.
That's why I think we're getting a cartridge upgrade. I think those are the two things they're going to focus on, and then hopefully some processor upgrades in there. Is it
Nice.
boring? Yes.
Yeah, that was all boring. I mean, like,
but do they need to be up to
agreed.
speed? Absolutely.
All right. So my end upgrades I'm hoping to see makes your drinks colder for you when you place them on it.
That sounds like a horrible.
Calls your mom every day so that
Just-
she doesn't tell you that you don't call enough.
Just put a big switch up.
But I don't like it calls my mom for me.
Oh, okay. So it's just like, this is Nick Switch calling, tell
yeah.
you that he's still alive.
Let's see. Upgrades. Cleans my litter box for my cats. That would be a
that's
great
asking for a
upgrade.
lot, bro. That's
Though
asking for a lot.
it would probably smell. No, I mean, I think the big upgrade for me is just processing power.
Yeah.
I know that's boring, but like
But it's the
I'm
right
of the
answer.
mind that like if the game is on Switch, I will play it on Switch,
Mhm.
and I want it to be powerful enough to handle
Same.
other games.
About the Pokemon of it all, right? Like,
Well,
yeah.
there's an optimization piece at play there too. But sorry, you threw me off. You said Pokemon. I was like, sleeper agent.
That's my trigger word, Pokemon.
But yeah, I would like to see that. And then blind predictions. What kind of feature? I mean, the DS is my favorite console ever.
Man, I love the DS.
The
so much.
idea of like a weird alternate reality where the Switch slides up into a second screen. Dream. But we'll leave that one to the powers that be. We know literally nothing.
We know nothing.
So all speculation. There is more anime coming to Fortnite. I think this is the third My Hero Academia pack
I believe so. Yes.
for Fortnite.
Mhm.
But the reason I wanted to include it is because the League of Villains are finally coming to Fortnite.
Ooh.
So you'll be able to play as Tomura Shigaraki, Dabi, and Himiko Toga. And I can tell you right now, those lobbies are going to be full of Dabis and Togas.
You know it.
hitting the gritty,
just Dobby's
doing the
dabbing,
other dance.
all
What?
the other
Name
stuff,
another
whatever
dance.
that
Name
is.
one other dance.
I don't know.
Name one dance.
The banana dance. I don't know.
Name one other
One other dance.
dance move.
Just
Stanky leg.
Stanky leg.
We're both
I don't
just
know how we all
it's the
got
stanky
there.
leg. It's the soldier boy. Yeah, so there's a bunch of Easter eggs in there. If you want to check out the full list, head to Crunchyroll News. But there's a little Nomu in there. There's a decay emote. The blue flames are obviously there for Dobby. A little bit of transforming for Toga. I don't think she can actually transform, but like her transform containers are there.
Yeah.
Just Toga, just hitting the gritty. For our last news item of the week, you may be wondering why we're talking about tabletop RPGs. I love tabletop
But to say, why don't we
RPGs.
talk about them more?
But you want to talk about them more? The Cyberpunk Edgerunners tabletop RPG. The reason this caught my eye is because this game will include effectively an official epilogue for the Edgerunners anime series.
That's cool.
Yeah. So it takes place immediately after the ending of Edgerunners. It comes with a kit that you'll get, the handbook, the rule book, right? Kind of the normal stuff that comes with a tabletop RPG, like a Dungeons and Dragons starter kit. You'll also get new art from Hiroyuki Imaishi from Studio Trigger.
Oh, dude.
Which, like, if you needed more, like, I just have to say Imaishi, and you should be ready to go. So that drops in June, and it's interesting because Cyberpunk, the game, was based on a tabletop RPG called Cyberpunk.
Already,
so
yeah.
it's kind of like coming all the way back around.
Yep.
So it drops in June. It'll be available digitally or in print. Have you played tabletop? You've talked about it on the show before, right?
Yeah.
You've got like a Gundam D&D group.
Yeah, I have
right
a Gundam
now.
D&D group that's going on right now. We're kind of like just at the beginning of it, totally in love with it. But right now I'm actually in the process of reading the Avatar handbook.
Oh, is it Legends?
I believe so. I don't remember what it is.
I
but,
bought that too. It's still sealed in my room.
No, I specifically like was asked in like one of my Discord groups. It's like, hey, you have this book. Can you put a game together for us? I'm like,
So
yeah,
can you
maybe.
play as Neytiri and the other Na'vi from Avatar in that one?
No. No.
Jake Sully, though?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. It's airbenders and water.
I know.
Yeah, I know. Please stop. But yeah, I'm like knee deep in the Avatar one right now.
Nice. Yeah, we're in a we just wrapped up what my friend who's our DM is calling a multi-shot.
Oh yeah, you were telling me about that.
For his
Yeah.
original world, which I'm not going to talk about here because no one can steal it. It's so good. But yeah, it was great. I played a human barbarian and had a
Nice.
lot of fun. So I love the idea of playing a Cyberpunk RPG.
Dude, this is awesome.
I don't have any experience with the original Cyberpunk game.
Yeah, me neither.
The tabletop game.
Yeah.
But after playing the video game, after loving Edgerunners,
Yep.
we might need to pick this up and play a little bit of it.
Have a little anime effect tabletop. Yeah,
Little
man.
game sesh.
Yeah.
But yeah, that wraps us on news for the week. I hope you guys enjoyed just a little what we have to offer. For more, you can always head over to Crunchyroll News.
Plug. But news is over. It is time to welcome our guest. 24kGoldn will be joining us to talk anime, music, and how it fits together.
The anime effect.
The anime effect. And that's next. We are so happy to welcome 24kGoldn to the anime effect. You know his hit song Mood from it going viral on TikTok. And then just playing nonstop in everybody's playlist, mine included. The
Same.
remix specifically, probably because I like the Beebs. But if you didn't know, he's also a big anime fan. So he came here to discuss his love of anime and maybe talk about some music. Golden, how are you doing?
I'm doing good, man. It's an early morning, but we up and we at it.
Oh, I know, man. I've been through like 3 coffees already, so so it's early for your boys over here too. So like we do with every guest on the show, we have to ask, what was your gateway anime?
My gateway anime. Well, it depends. It depends what you consider, right? Because I remember being like 5 playing Dragon Ball Z video games, buying Dragon Ball Z merch and stuff like that. I had a Dragon Ball Z like backpack and stickers, but I never watched Dragon Ball Z when I was like a kid.
Crazy.
I just like the aesthetic of it all. As you can see now with my Super Saiyan looking ass hair.
Yeah.
So the first anime that I really watched all the way through that I was like, nah, I need this. It was probably Death Note.
I don't hear that too often. So why I follow up? Why Death Note specifically? Like, what drew you to that one?
Yeah, so I mean, as I was growing up and graduating from Dragon Ball Z, I started a little Naruto. Never could finish it because this was at the time where we didn't really have anime on Netflix or Hulu or Crunchyroll. For that matter, things like that didn't exist. So if I wanted to watch it, I was either gonna have to beg my parents to buy a DVD and hope that they got the right one and not the Japanese version, or try and catch it on TV like Naruto when they brought it to Cartoon Network. So I was just kind of ass out of luck. And I remember Death Note was one of the first animes to come to streaming, and it had dubbed. It was dubbed as well. So I was just like, it was super easy to access it.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's interesting. Like the accessibility. I feel like we got a big influx of fans who started with Death Note, specifically the dub, around the time, like you said, that streaming kind of became more accessible.
You see, I kind of had the beautiful, horrible problem of that still being my favorite anime. So everything I watch, and I've seen a plenty of amazing shows since then, but like to have one so good for your first anime, it took me so long to find my next one because I was just comparing it to that every time.
No, I think that's fair. I mean, Death Note was probably one of the first like mystery supernatural series that I watched, and it's kind of hard to not look at it as kind of a litmus test for the genre. Yeah. If you haven't checked it out, I definitely recommend Psycho-Pass if you like the sort of like detective. Have you seen it?
I loved it.
Okay, awesome.
Also, Bungo Stray Dogs. It's a good one.
You said, what was it? Would you say that was called?
Bungo Stray Dogs. It's another one. Like if you like detective mystery kind of stuff, that's a great one. I'm actually floating through it right now. I'm like in season 2.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's really good.
Add it on the list, man.
Do it.
I was gonna say, trying to like fulfill that high of watching Death Note for the first time. Yeah. I also really liked Code Geass.
Yeah, that's a good one.
And Monster. Monster.
I haven't seen Monster.
I just finished it like 2 days ago. Crazy.
Wow.
Dang, yeah, that one's on my backlog. I have not seen it. So speaking of other shows that you've been into, so we heard from someone at Crunchyroll that you attended the Spy Family Code White movie premiere.
I did.
We're obviously big Spy Family fans over here, including our producer, who's a huge Spy Family fan. I'm curious, what did you think of the movie? And like, are you a big Spy Family fan, or was this kind of your introduction to the show?
For me, Spy Family is like reality TV. Like you know what to expect from it. You know it's gonna be a little messy, but that doesn't make you enjoy it any less. So before the premiere, I knew I was going to the premiere for about a month, and I had watched the first couple of episodes of season 1, and apparently my reading comprehension is trash because I thought this was a new season premiere, not an OVA type thing. Yeah. So I'm like, damn, I gotta watch every single episode of every season in like a week because I put it off for whatever reason. Yeah. Thinking there would be less episodes. And then I come to the premiere after doing like 40 hours of watching in 1 week. And I'm like, yo, I could have just pulled up and really only seen season 1 and it would have been fine. But great show. Yeah, very entertaining.
Yeah, no, it's still a great watch, even though you speed ran through like 2 seasons.
Okay, but so Spy Family is kind of fresh on your mind. I'm curious, do you have a favorite character? I feel like everyone like quickly picks a favorite.
Everybody identifies really quick.
I really so here's another problem I have. Anime, so many names, I forget everybody's name.
Same.
I can't tell you anyone's name in any show, really. I like Pops, yo. I like the dad, the spy.
Oh, Lloyd? Yeah.
Lloyd
Forger.
Lloyd's my guy.
Lloyd Forger, and with Anna Forger is the daughter.
Yeah,
or am I
Lloyd,
getting
Anya,
Anna
and
from
Anya.
Lloyd,
Yeah,
Anya,
yeah.
York.
Anna? Yeah, I like his like internal dilemma of like him when he internally monologues about like is she trying to get me set up when really shorty just in her feelings. I love it. Love it.
I do have to say that is the best part of the show is like because I feel like a lot of the show is driven by the internal monologues of all the characters.
Yeah.
And I feel like because Lloyd is such a central part of his dialogue of, you know, talking about Yor and Anya and like even like, you know, the dog bond is like hilarious to me because it's like he takes the biggest leaps. And you're just like, bro, it's not that deep.
Makes it like super unserious. I think it's funny because we just talked last week about anime tropes on the show, and I said that the internal monologue is one of my favorites, and I love it in Spy Family because it's kind of like you get narrated portions of each of the show from the different perspectives, and you have to kind of remind yourself that only Anya knows all the secrets. Mm-hmm. No one else knows what anyone else's deal is.
But that's also what makes her dialogue or her internal monologue the best because she knows everything.
Oh yeah.
So it really helps like drive home like even just the silliness of, you know, her as a character. But I digress.
Crazy that they've all been able to keep their respective secrets for that.
I don't understand.
Like
very efficient time management skills.
I'm horrible. Like they would have figured out I was a spy like in episode 2.
I would have, as soon as I got adopted, I would have been like, and I can read minds.
Yeah.
Do with that what you will.
Right. Oh man. So we talked about Mood earlier. It went viral on TikTok in 2020. Again, an absolutely fantastic song. What's your experience like creating and sharing music in an era that is led by TikTok and seeing it go viral so quickly?
Well, I think it's like a love-hate thing, you know? In my ideal world, I would have been a superstar in the 90s where I don't got to post nothing and I just get to make music.
I feel that.
And get popped with supermodels and A-list actresses because that's what they did in the 90s, I guess.
Yeah.
But my second most ideal situation will probably be this one. Mm-hmm. Just because it's opened up the doors to being able to have millions of people hear your music that may not have ever heard it because you didn't have enough money to do a marketing campaign or buy a billboard or get on MTV. Mm-hmm. So it's so much more like democratic. If you make something good and people hear it and they like it, you got a shot.
Yeah. It's just the wave just happens and you gotta roll with it.
Yeah, like I feel like we see something similar in anime on TikTok specifically, where like moments from shows or songs from shows will go viral without like, and eventually, right, it goes viral without the context of the original art,
right? But
it leads people back to it,
right?
And it's like, this is gonna make me sound really old, but I feel like the last time we hit something like this, where music and social media like helped permeate the mainstream, would have been like the MySpace era.
Yeah.
Right.
Sure,
where like you discovered a song because you went to someone's profile that you liked and you heard it.
Yep.
And to me, that's like the closest comparison to what we're experiencing now.
I agree, because I was working at a record label during the last half of the MySpace era. Mm-hmm. And that was how we discovered a lot of people too, was like, you know, who's listening to what, because MySpace was still a very like prevalent platform at the time.
Yeah.
Do you have any favorite stitches or videos that have used your music?
Yeah. So it was this video that went viral of a bunch of kids like on a party bus, like going to their school dance or something like that. I think it was their first school dance. And they were on the party bus, you know, pre-gaming as whatever middle schoolers do to pregame.
They got the fun dip. They got the fun dip.
Juice boxes, fun dip, smoking Smarties. You know how it is. And they were all bumping Mood and like singing it together, and like
it's crazy.
You could tell that was like a core memory, something they'll never forget for the rest of their lives.
Yeah.
So that was beautiful, just to see like how music can be the soundtrack to people's lives in like a really formative way.
Yeah. I feel like we're just seeing music, especially with TikTok, be like multi-generational in a way. Like
100%.
not only is like new music with old sound getting popular and you're hearing it on the radio, old music is coming back.
Yeah.
Like you'll hear a song from like the 80s or 90s just like hit the top 100 again.
The craziest thing to me, and like, you know, Golden brought up like his ideal situation would have been like, you know, being an artist like in the 90s. But like I really came into my own as like a hip hop fan, like during the blog era and like having to hunt down mixtapes and stuff like that. So even seeing that stuff come back around.
Yeah.
And it's like, bro, that was like 10, 15 years ago almost now.
Time is a
like,
circle, bro. It's a flat circle.
Yeah, it's great though. And I have to ask too, like, what's it like being an artist and knowing that, you know, you at any time you have to capitalize, like mood, for instance? Like, what is that feeling like for you when you see something just pop off suddenly and you're like, oh, wait, wait.
Well, you know, it's different now because before I had a big song, that was the only thing that mattered to me. And don't get me wrong, love having big songs, plan on having many, many more of them. But I beat the game already. Right now, I'm doing a DLC. Basically,
yeah.
So it's more about enjoying the experience and making music that is just adding on and building onto the story, and then we can have a sequel. You know, whenever the studio has that ready.
Right.
I like that. I like that analogy.
Yeah.
Playing the DLC.
Yeah.
So you talked about, I mean, look, like, I don't think it's a secret. Like you're gonna drop more hits.
Yeah.
Like it's gonna happen. I think we can tell just from listening to even for me, like just listening to the album that Mood's on. Like I think Love or Lust is probably my favorite song on that one.
Oh yeah.
I was just like, damn, this is good.
Yeah.
This is really good.
The one with Future and then Coco with the baby. Yeah, I was listening to it on the way in. I was like, wait.
So you just released your EP Growing Pains a couple months ago. Obviously, congratulations.
Yeah,
that's awesome, man.
Phenomenal, man.
I'm curious, like because you're such a big anime fan, like do you ever find that anime inspires your process? And if so, like do you have a specific example?
So I don't want to give specific examples because I can't have these motherfuckers stealing my sauce out here. But I'll just say in general, the opening title sequences of some shows are some of the most creative directed visual audio sequences I've seen in my life.
Yeah. I totally agree. Yeah, we were just talking about Demon Slayer, and the new Demon Slayer, like OP is just like, and the visuals for that are insane. So yeah.
Yeah, add that to the list. I need to check that out too.
No, I was gonna say, like, as soon as you said that, it made me think. You know, you've said that one of your favorite anime is like Chainsaw Man, right? Like,
yeah,
it's such a like that OP is like so big. I mean, it's literally based on inspirations from film.
Yeah,
and so I definitely feel the cinematic piece of it.
There are certain songs that I'm like, whoa, the melodies in this are really amazing. No idea what bro's saying at all, but I'm jacking these melodies. and the way that I approach like creativity is that my job is to serve as a filter, right? It's to take in as many great works of art as possible and kind of sift through it and decide, what do I want to keep? What do I want to let go of? What can I combine? And consistently, anime has great stories, great visuals, but great music as well. So a lot of that, I think those melodic sequences and stuff are like buried in my brain and come out at different points.
I love that.
Yeah, it's great.
I think that's a really like healthy way to look at art too.
Yeah, I think so too.
You said Love or Lust was your favorite song.
Yeah.
Off the last project. If you replaced Japanese words with the melody of the hook, it sounds like it could be an anime opening.
See, now I got to go back and listen
to it. I can see that, listen with that in mind.
Listen to it. So, speaking of, you know, Golden secret stuff being your OP inspirations, is there a current anime that's out that you would love to do music for, whether it be OP, ED?
Ooh. I would love to do something for Chainsaw Man.
Ooh.
I would love to do something for Mashal, Magic and Muscle.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's me, bro. That's me. What do you? Come on,
Yes.
man.
Yes.
He's flexing.
Yes.
That's me. Harry Potter on steroids.
That's like, I think that's the second time we've said like almost exactly that on the show. But no, it's funny when you were talking about melodies, the Creepy Nuts OP for Mashal Season 2 popped into my head. Which we also talk about that. I feel like a lot
we
on
do.
the show.
It's because it's OP of the year, bro.
Oh my gosh.
1000%. What anime would you recommend for me based off of what you know I watched and liked so far?
That's a good question.
I'm looking at your list. So we're gonna run down some of this list for the listeners at home so that they can yell into their speakers their recommendations. But we talked about Death Note, we talked about Chainsaw Man, we've got Parasite, Promised Neverland, Hunter x Hunter. Sitting on Hunter x Hunter for a second, I feel like Tower of God is probably a good rec for you. Season 1's out, season 2 drops this summer. The first arc of Tower of God it reminds me a lot of the Hunter exam arc.
It does.
Hunter x Hunter.
Yeah, very much tournament style kind of. Yeah,
for sure. Psychopaths, you talked about Bungo.
Yep.
I'll also bring up Undead Murder Farce again. It's basically like, what if Sherlock and the Wolfman and Frankenstein were all in this like Victorian but also steampunk era detective mystery.
It's really good. It's really good.
Yeah.
That sounds amazing.
I'm going to say Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood, if that's a blind spot for you.
Seen it. Loved it.
Bam. There you go. I got nothing else to offer.
We just talked about it. Megalobox.
Megalobox. Yeah.
Megalobox.
Yeah. It's a really like both. You can watch both season 1 and season 2.
Samurai Champloo.
Amazing.
I've seen some of that. Great music. That has great music.
It's fantastic.
That's if you like the music in Samurai Champloo, Megalobox definitely like
absolutely
the soundtrack by I think his name is Mabanua. Very Nujabes inspired soundtrack.
Cool.
Afro Samurai too, if you want to keep going on that like the music train, because RZA did the soundtracking for both the first season and the movie.
And got some good isn't it Samuel Jackson? He's the voice actor in that too?
Yeah, he's Afro and Ninja. Yeah, it's great.
We got the statue right here in the studio.
Yeah,
damn, bro's a goat.
Yeah, he really is.
Cool. Thank you for the recs.
Yeah, for sure. So speaking of recommendations, we have a segment on the show every week where, the hosts kind of bring something that we've been watching or playing or listening to as a rec for the listeners. So I'm curious, what do you have to recommend this week?
I really got to recommend to anybody out there that hasn't seen it, Monster. I found out about it because I watched the Pluto limited series.
Oh, yeah. Loved it.
And I was like,
great.
The people that worked on this, what else did they do?
Yeah.
So great anime. If you like thrillers, if you like mysteries, if you like things that deal with the dark and the light of human psyche and that have interwoven stories that you go down one beaten path only to find out it brings you back around to where you started from.
Wow.
It's the one for you. That's all I can say.
I'm gonna have to add it because I know it's a blind spot for me.
It is a blind spot for me as well. I need to finish Pluto. Also, I love Tezuka stuff.
Yeah, so good.
And I love Astro Boy.
Yeah,
and I know that like going back to that like gritty inspiration, like I gotta finish it.
Yeah,
it's too much One Piece right now, man.
One Piece. Young Nicholas, what have you brought us this week?
Okay, so I'm playing a little indie game called Animal Well. Which is the first game from, if you know Video Game Donkey, the YouTuber.
Yeah.
I've been a fan of his for a long time. He started a video game publishing company where he sought to find the best games ever and publish them. But, a lot of people were stacked up against him. Like, it's either going to be a massive hit or it's going to fade.
Yeah.
And this game is made basically by one person, Billy Basso. So Billy Basso basically developed this game by himself over the course of years. And the best way I can describe it is like a really eerie neon puzzle box. But it's the way it comes to life is like a classic Castlevania or Metroid game. So you're sort of just like dropped into this world as this tiny character with this massive scale, and you're told nothing. It's just basically go, and you explore all the parts of the map, and you see all these puzzles, and I don't know, just the way it like makes me feel. It's weird that it makes you feel like simultaneously really smart and really really stupid at the same time.
Like playing Braid,
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's like very much cut from the cloth of like a Braid or a Fez, where like it's a platformer, but it's a mind-bending piece of that. There's nothing else like it. Gotta recommend it. But to tie it to anime, I caught up on Train to the End of the World, which,
nice.
Damn, that show may be my show of the season right now.
Really?
It really goes places. It gets weird.
Okay.
But in a similar sense that Animal Well gives you this sense of like dread, but not anxiety. Train to the End of the World. And then I also have to shout out Odd Taxi, which again, if you like mystery anime, Odd Taxi.
Seen the first couple episodes. It's with the animals and the taxi driver and right. Yeah.
Yeah,
Great
that's
show.
a good one. So similar vibe, but yeah, I'll stop talking about Animal Well. But go play it. It's great. It's so good.
We love a good indie game around here.
For real. How about you, Lee?
Man, I know I'm probably late. I'm sorry, everyone. But I finally just sat down on Sunday and finished Solo Leveling.
Ooh.
Man, when I tell you, and I'd already like read the manhwa before, right?
The
like,
whole thing?
Up to where it is currently. Like,
in the
what
anime?
we have printed,
okay.
Yeah.
Oh, the physical print.
Yeah. But seeing all of like the major like beats and battles and seeing like Sunjinu, like just the level up progression is crazy, and just the scale of like how strong he gets.
Yeah.
And since we talked to Alex and Caitlin, like I've only been watching the dub. Like I was like specifically waiting for the dub finale because I was like, I should support the show, homie. But I mean, he did absolutely fantastic. Like especially because there was so much of the show where his character was interacting with a lot of people, and he had to carry a lot of the heavy weight of like the screaming and the battles and stuff. And then the Arise moment was absolutely cool. Like I don't really want to spoil the actual moment for people. But I mean, just that last like 3 episodes was just damn, man. Like I can't say enough good things about it. So that's definitely one, like just based off the ones you like, that Solo Leveling will probably be right up your alley.
Oh
so, yeah, super.
You could finish that in like the next 2 hours.
Yeah, exactly. Like super big power scaling fantasy.
More like 4 hours.
Like, yeah, it's absolutely fantastic, man.
Golden, thank you so much for being on the show. I hope you had a good time.
Yeah, man. We loved having you.
I did. Thank you for having me, and congratulations to you two guys for probably having one of the coolest jobs in the world where you just get paid to watch anime.
Oh my
Thank
God.
you, man.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
And please come back anytime.
Yeah, for sure. Congrats on your new album again. And you definitely, like, to echo Nick, please feel free to just hit up our producer and be like, hey, I want to slide through. Like,
hey, and when you tour, if you're in Dallas, come into the studio.
Please.
Yeah.
Please.
Oh, that would be fire. I would love to.
Yeah, man.
All right. Well, thank you guys. Peace.
Man, that was awesome.
That was great.
That was a great interview.
Yeah. Thank you again, Golden. Like we said, please come back anytime. Like we'll have fun.
Yeah, and let us know when you checked out like those 150,000 recommendations that we gave you.
Pelting him with shows.
But speaking of recommendations, we also got a fan rec this week.
Heck yeah.
From @Martha3135 on YouTube. Thanks for writing in, Martha, who says, Haikyu is amazing.
Yeah, Haikyu Hive, stand up.
Never thought I'd fall in love with an anime about volleyball, but it's in my top 5. If you're on the fence, give it a chance. The characters are so likable, and it's just great overall. I paused for a second because I thought, if you're on the fence, is that a volleyball term? Can you think of like the net as a fence?
And somebody actually plays volleyball, please let us know. But
yes, please do.
I don't know.
I gotta start it.
It's so good, dude.
How do I stop watching One Piece and start watching other shows?
Just hit play on Haikyu.
At the same time?
Just not at the same time.
Oh,
you
okay.
exit One Piece and you hit play.
I don't know
on
if
Haikyu.
I can exit One Piece. I don't know if I can do that. But yeah, so I mean, thanks for your rec, Lee. Thanks for Golden's rec.
Yeah, man.
Thanks for Martha's rec.
Yeah.
If you want to submit a recommendation to the Anime Effect, we have a fun new way to do that. Obviously, the number one surefire way to get your rec read on the show is to leave a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. That is a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. But no, we actually have a form now. So if you go to got.cr, that's got.cr/anime effect questions.
Ooh.
You can drop your recommendation in or
a question.
Hit
that form, y'all. It's done. Finally.
Yeah. And we'll drop the link in the show notes. So
sure.
you can just click it depending on what platform you're on. So speaking of questions,
ooh.
I heard you've got something for us in the mailbag.
Ooh, is it mailbag time?
It's mailbag time.
Mailbag. So, from Icy Veins on Apple Podcast, what is your favorite live action anime adaptation?
One Piece.
That's the layup, right? That's the easy
I know
answer.
It's the easy answer. Actually, okay. So One Piece, recency bias, of course.
Mhm.
But Speed Racer. Man.
Let's talk about Speed Racer, bro. Speed Racer supremacy, okay? Listen, I know we've talked about this before.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, the One Piece adaptation is fantastic. But listen, Speed Racer, the Wachowskis just got it.
Yeah. You're telling me there is a live action Speed Racer film directed by the Wachowskis of The Matrix.
Yep.
With a cast that includes Emile Hirsch.
Yep.
Christina Ricci.
Mm-hmm.
Susan Sarandon. And John Goodman.
Yep.
And of course, John Goodman plays Pops.
Yeah, of course. That was like a layup casting.
You could have thought that they designed his cartoon appearance off of John Goodman before John Goodman was even known to anybody.
Right. Right.
Honestly, man, Emile Hirsch was tweeting about the Speed Racer. Every once in a while, he'll tweet about the Speed Racer live action. And on April Fools, he had like kind of trolled fans by saying like back in the driver's seat. And I was like, man,
don't do that.
Don't do this.
Don't. But man, also like shout out to Matthew Fox. Like Racer X is probably like one of my favorite characters like ever in anything. And his depiction of like Racer X was so cool, man. And I think the biggest thing for me is like, when I say the Wachowskis got it, it's because, and just like One Piece did, when you make an anime live action adaptation, you can't forget how weird anime just is. You have
to commit to the bit.
Yeah, you have to commit to the bit. You can't just be like, oh, we're just going to make it all serious all of a sudden. And it's going to be real world.
It's going to be Dragon Ball Evolution.
Exactly.
Though the scene where he slides his head on the roof of a car to get to the other side of it is hilarious.
Yeah, it's great.
A super cut of that on. It's great.
But this is just so like from the cars to the way that like they're put in motion when they're racing to like just the story of it all, like making the story make sense.
The fast talking,
yeah, dude. Like they just fully embraced everything that was and is Speed Racer, and you guys are never gonna like make me hate this movie. Like,
but the world was not ready.
No,
the world was not ready for Speed Racer.
If Speed Racer would have came out like right now, or even like 5 years ago. Man,
I know.
We would have been like, that would have been the true trajectory of like, hey, we can actually do like this live action anime thing and it'd be correct.
All right, we can talk about this all day. Yeah, what else do we got this week?
From Big Trav _95 on Instagram, what are your top 3 favorite women in anime that are superheroes?
I have to assume this question is because they just watched the first episode of My Hero
Stars
Academia,
and Stripes, baby.
Season 7, Star and Stripe, number 1 American hero.
Yeah.
I can feel the patriotism again. It's returned.
Right.
It's returned to me.
It has returned.
We're going to use the term superheroes as a broad stroke here. Very because there are a lot of really badass women in anime. And I was thinking about this question, but 2 that really stand out to me. 1, got to give it to Maki Oze from Fire Force.
Yeah.
I know I'm like the number 1 Fire Force stan on this show.
Oh, no, you are not.
What?
Join me.
I like that.
So if we're going to do Fire Force, like just to kind of, steal your thunder a little bit, Princess Sabini, like oh
yeah,
dude, like when she just comes in and just like throttles people, it's like, well, I guess we can all just leave now.
Yep. She comes in, she's like, I'm the boss. I have these incredibly strong powers.
Yeah.
And also like a really intricate like backstory.
Yeah.
That whole arc with her and Iris.
Yep.
So if you haven't watched Fire Force, I don't want to spoil too much, but it's set in this world where people just spontaneously combust effectively and catch fire and turn into demons. And there's groups, Fire Force companies that have like basically awakened fire abilities. There's different levels of them, and they go and extinguish the flames of the demons, and there's kind of a religious element to it. The Princess Hibini is, I believe, the captain of Company...
Oh, is it Company 5? I think?
Because the main cast is Company 8. Yeah, I think it's 5. But on a similar note, Maki Oze is on...
Maki's a badass.
She is on Company 8. She's basically like a mage, like a wizard.
Flame witch,
Flame witch. She has a witch's hat. And she has Sputter and Flare are basically her like personified fire abilities, and they kind of have personalities.
Yeah, it's so cool.
And man, there's this one scene, I think it's in season 2, where she has the engines that she throws them into, and it's like guns.
Dude, it's awesome.
Bro, Maki.
The tech in that show is so great too.
I know.
Like, it's fantastic.
The world.
Come back to us, Fire Force.
Yeah.
Come back.
Shout out to Okubo.
Yeah,
Sensei.
man. Okubo Sensei is awesome.
Yeah. He did Soul Eater. Too. Same creator.
Had a chance to meet him once at AX last year.
That's a few years ago, wasn't it? Oh no, last year for Kamiarabi.
For Kamiarabi, he's the nicest guy, man. So
I wish I could meet him.
Yeah, he's great.
And then, of course, I have to give a shout out to Yoko from Gurren Lagann. She is the MVP of Gurren Lagann. Like Simon this, Vita all that.
But she really holds the crew together. Though.
Yes.
There are so many moments where like the crew could have just like fallen apart. And she literally just picks everyone up and is like, we're not doing this.
Yep. And
like,
the moment in the second half of that series when she basically comes back into the fold is the moment when things are like, oh, we can actually do this now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like she is at the heart of Gurren Lagann.
Yeah. Since we talked about Soul Eater, Maki, like she's awesome. Like her and Soul are just a weird comedy bit just to begin with. Just throw that out. But I mean, just even her like having such an interesting arc of like, being the daughter of a death scythe and like trying to follow the path of her parents, but not really wanting to at the same time. And then like, eventually just being like the strongest of the bunch. Man, just, again, I could just we'll just sit here and wax poetic about Soul Eater and Fire Force all day if we don't stop.
Honestly, maybe we'll do like a special episode sometime about both of them.
Love it. Would love it.
I think we got one more question for this week.
Got one more from WCR78 on Apple Podcasts. Can you tell me about any anime that has been popular but hasn't been updated lately? And if they're coming back with a new season? There's a couple.
So I usually don't do this, but I actually peeked at this question because I wanted to have a bunch like
ready,
kind of queued up because it feels like this has been happening quite a lot lately.
Yeah.
Where we've seen like shows that we haven't heard from. And I'm not talking about like remakes or reimaginings necessarily. Like we've seen that with Spice and Wolf. We saw it with Fruits Basket a few years ago. But specifically shows that are continuing after a number of years. So we talked about this last week with Bryce, but Blue Exorcist coming back after Kyoto Saga in the early 2010s. Konosuba season 3 is back. I think season 2 was 2017. Which the fact that the Switch came out in 2017 continues to remind me that was 7 years ago.
Stop.
I know. So I mean, along with Konosuba, Black Butler is like one of the big ones for this season, coming back after a long time. But also shows that are on their way. Like we had, we talked about Kimi Todoroki, the rom-com coming back for season 3, Fairy Tales coming back.
Dude, I'm so excited for 100 Years Quest, dude. I'm so excited.
100 Years Quest. We talked about Tower of God with Golden, but season 2 is dropping this summer. This one's for you, Lee, but Kinnikuman, which American fans will have known as Ultimate Muscle on Foxbox.
Love Ultimate Muscle, bro.
And then Sword Art Online Alternative, Gun Gale Online 2 is happening. So,
and then I guess another ReZero is coming back as well too. Like that's been a little bit since that one's been on the books. So yeah, there's a lot coming back. And to your point, like it's interesting how we've had series that just have multi-year layoffs. And we're talking like more than 3 years, right? And they're now a part of the anime zeitgeist again, which is cool to see.
Thanks for writing in questions.
Yeah, thank you,
to everyone who wrote them in. As I mentioned, if you want your question read on the show, please leave a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts or head over to got.cr/anime effect questions or click the link in the show notes to send us your questions and recs. But I think that about does it.
I think that's it
for this week's show.
That's it. We did it. We got an interview out of it.
We did it. I wish Leah was here with us.
Yeah,
but
me too.
We did do it.
We did.
Yeah.
But until then, thank you for joining us for another episode of The Anime Effect.
You're welcome.
Thanks, bro.
I assume you're reading this to me every week.
Yeah, totally. Thank you for joining us for another episode of The Anime Effect, brought to you by Crunchyroll and the folks over at Sony Music. Be sure to subscribe so you never miss an episode.
I am subscribed already.
I am too.
Crunchyroll Presents The Anime Effect is hosted by me, Nick Friedman, LeAlec Murray, and Leah President. We are executive produced by Jonathan Hirsch, Shara Morris, and they keep putting my name here, and I don't. Just kidding. I am also one of the producers.
You say that, but you belong. Come on.
Oh, thanks.
Come on.
I appreciate that. Our lead producer is Kyla Carnero and is a huge Spy Family fan, and our associate producer is Zoe Culkin. Patrick Emile edited and mixed this episode's audio, and Tyler Lucas filmed and edited the video. Our head of production is Sammy Allison. Special thanks to Tamika Balance-Kolasny.
We'll be back next week with more anime, of course. You can't get rid of us. We're here.
That's what Leah says
it's
usually.
Happening.
There's nothing you can do about it.
Nothing. Can we put that on a t-shirt?
There's nothing you can do about it?
Yeah.
I feel like that could sell even for people who don't know about our show.
Yeah, it's true.
Bye.
Later days.
Nick, can we get a clap, please?
Yeah, there you go. Consistency.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Sorry, Golden, can we get a clap from you as well, if you don't mind?
Yeah, sure.
Dang.
That was way better.
That
than
was
mine.
awesome.
Yeah. That was way better.
Can we come in and just have you do our clap test every week? That'd be great.
Hey, man, if y'all got benefits, I'm with it.
There you go. Man, it's thinking.